An American convicted of spying for Israel will be released from prison in the fall. Jonathan Pollard was a civilian analyst for the Navy when he was given a life sentence in 1985 for selling classified information. Pollard has served 30 years in prison and was eligible for parole in November. His release has recently surfaced as a possible concession to the Israeli government following tensions over the U.S. nuclear Iran deal. Joining us with more is CBS News justice reporter Paula Reid. So, Paula, is this considered a concession to Israel?
It is not. The Attorney General was asked about this on Saturday, and when he was sentenced 30 years ago, at that time he received a life sentence. But under the law as it was at that time, after 30 years, unless he had some sort of violation or there was evidence that he posed a threat to society, he would be released after 30 years. And the Attorney General, when asked if this was connected to the Iran deal, she said, you know, it would have been very forward thinking of them to sentence him under that law at that time to coincide with the Iran deal.
So as you mentioned, he was one of the few prisoners left still in prison under that older set of sentencing laws. So what is a life sentence today?
A life sentence today is a life sentence. Now, at the federal and state laws at levels, years ago, this was common. You could get a life sentence, but there could be mandatory release. And there are cases all across the U.S. where even some serial killers could still get mandatory release in the coming years. But the law has been changed. And as I said, now a life sentence is a life sentence.
Yeah, and it's definitely sparking a lot of reaction. Former Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld tweeted out, releasing spy Jonathan Pollard doesn't make the Iran deal any less of a disaster for Israel and the free world. But at the same time, supporters say he was punished excessively, right?
That is certainly the argument that many of his supporters have made, but it goes back to the law. At the time, he was sentenced under a law. He got the life sentence, but mandatory release after 30 years was what the law said at this time. It's changed a lot, but it doesn't matter. It matters what he was sentenced under. That is why it is mandatory release. He will get out, his lawyer tells me, on November 20th.
All right, Paula Reid in our Washington bureau for us. Thank you so much.